So I sat the kids down, sat the wife down, and I told them straight up, look, y'all are not getting another Christmas gift from me at all. And to be honest with you, that decision was one of the best decisions I could have ever made. It didn't just give me peace, it actually gave me back some of my time too. So here's what happened. A few years ago, I'd been standing in the same line, more times than I could count, buying another gift card for one of the kids, and it hit me mid-thought. This is basically just money with a bow on it. That's it. That's the whole gift. And once I saw it, that clearly, I couldn't ignore it. And I stood there kind of disgusted with myself, honestly, because when did that become normal? And why does everybody just quietly go along with it like it's not a little ridiculous? And it's not just the gift cards. There's so many other aspects of this holiday that when you really zoom out and look at it, just don't make sense. We're following some script that was handed down to us the moment we were born, and we just run with it. We don't question any of it. We just go along with it. We spend our time, our money, our energy on all these different parts of the holiday and never once stop to ask why we're actually doing any of it. Are we doing it because it genuinely makes us feel good? Are we doing it out of obligation? Are we doing it because we actually want to? Or are we doing it to keep up with the Joneses, to impress people who probably aren't even paying that much attention to begin with? I mean, it seems like we are literally taking a holiday and its original meaning, whatever it was and is, and we've turned it into this. You prove that you like, care, or love somebody by buying them stuff. So once I noticed this, and actually let me correct that, because I've always kind of questioned the holiday and always felt like it was fake or this huge unnecessary emotional drain, but I just didn't look at it closely. But once I did, I felt like I started to become aware of these moments that I can only describe as nuts. For instance, do you ever notice the little pause somebody takes opening a gift, and you kind of see it on their face and in their body language that they're doing their own quiet math on whether or not the gift landed right? Or the comment somebody makes about how you didn't have to get us all that, which sounds generous but really is just them checking whether the gift exchange is actually balanced. Of course, no one is going to openly say these things. Everybody's just running the numbers behind a smile, and they save those kind of conversations for their gossip groups. But nonetheless, gift giving and gift exchanges create these invisible scoreboards where everyone is trying to figure out how much the other person has spent on their gift. And God forbid you can obviously see that you spent less money, because now you spend the entire day feeling guilty. I mean, think about that. Really think about it. How many times has that happened to you? At home or at work? And speaking of work, not only have we been conditioned to show our love by spending money on our family, but we've also been pulled into this workplace secret Santa nonsense. Probably one of the most awkward human experiences ever created. So HR basically coerces coworkers who barely know each other to spend exactly $20 on random junk. And for what reason? Nobody asks that question, but instead everybody buys candles, coffee mugs, lotions, or some other crap from the Family Dollar that nobody actually wants. But then you sit around in a circle and you open your gift, fake a smile, say thank you, and then you toss it in the trash. Like, what are we doing? We're just proving to our coworkers that we know how to waste more money. And it's not even just the gifts. The family time part of it, everybody acts like that's the whole point. But don't get me wrong, it is for me. I enjoy quality time with my family, no doubt. But the point is that mostly everyone else acts like the family time is the real reason for the season. But if you're honest with yourself, how much of it actually feels chosen versus how much of it feels like you showed up because showing up was never really optional to begin with? Same seat at the same table, same conversations you already know the shape of before anybody opens their mouth, same low hum of tension nobody names but everybody feels. It seems like we are all just participating in this annual get-together, this ritual we've been performing for decades, and we do it simply because we've been doing it. So does it make sense to do something even if you don't want to do it, just because that's what we've been doing? And here's the part that actually gets me every single year, and that's everybody complains. Almost every single person. I don't really think I've come across a person who hasn't. It's the traffic, the money, the family drama, the stress of it all. Somebody always says, "I'm just glad when it's over." And then without fail, everybody shows right back up and does the exact same thing again the next December. Like the complaining and the repeating aren't even connected to each other in anybody's head. But you know who complains the most? It's the people who actually love Christmas the most. The people with all the decorations, with nothing but Christmas jingles playing the moment Halloween ends. The people who get gifts and cards for everyone. So why wouldn't they complain the most? I mean, they're stressed, they're exhausted, they're behind on shopping, they're over budget. And somehow, they're also the first people telling everybody else how magical the season is. But don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that gift giving and showing that you care are bad things. That's not it at all. As a matter of fact, one thing I didn't mention when I sat everybody down that day, after talking it over with my wife privately afterward, we agreed on one exception. Even though I would stop gift giving for everyone else, she still gets a gift from me. Christmas and Valentine's Day both. Not because I feel obligated to the tradition. Honestly, it's more that I love her, and you also know what they say, happy wife, happy life. And I agree with that saying to an extent, but that's our one carve out, and it came about on purpose, not by accident. So what I'm saying is, gift giving is a wonderful gesture if the gesture is not draining you mentally, physically, emotionally, or financially. And when I look outside, Christmas holiday, I see a lot of that. Same thing with decorating. I don't enjoy it. Setting it all up and then breaking it all back down a few weeks later, that's just time out of my life I don't get back, spent on something that doesn't actually bring me joy while I'm doing it. But if my wife wants to decorate, I'll help her decorate, because that's spending time with her, which is the actual thing I value. But I'm not out here doing it all on my own initiative. It was never a thing that I actually liked, and it always felt like I was expected to do it. Oh, and yeah, I shut that down too. But I'm not telling you to go cut your family off from gifts or skip the decorations. That's not really the point here. I just made my own peace with which parts of the holiday actually add something to my life and which parts I was only doing because everybody else is doing it and nobody ever questioned why. So why do we spend so much time, energy, money, and eventually so much of our life on things that don't necessarily add any value to it at all? So maybe that's the actual question worth asking yourself. If you strip this whole holiday down to just the parts that actually mean something to you personally, what would even be left standing? And would you be relieved, or would you actually miss some of what you cut? Let me know what you actually think in the comments, and I will see you in the next one.